So I misspoke in the last lecture. I said that this was going to be about for loops. It's actually going to be about lists and arrays. So lists and arrays in Kotlin, pretty straightforward. The most simple way to make them, let's say I want to make a variable of my lucky numbers. So I'm going to say var lucky numbers is going to be equal to, you just type list of, and you don't even have to specify the type inside those angle brackets. You could just say like 1, 6, 7, 8, 3. You just have to separate the items by commas, and then all of a sudden you have a list. Same thing if you want to do an array, you just have to say array of, like that, and all of a sudden now you have an array of ints. Now, if you want to make an empty array and not specify the type, you can say array of, and then inside of the angle brackets, you just have to say what's going to be in there. For example, I might say, this is going to be an array of ints if you wanted to see that. Now, with both arrays and lists, you can't grow or shrink them. So if you want to be able to do something like that, you need a mutable list. So you can say, for example, mutable list of, and provide something like a set of numbers here. I'll just go ahead and put some in. Then if you want to add on to these, you can say lucky numbers dot add and specify that you want it to go at a specific position. So if I add like the number 5, I can say that this should go in at position 0 or something like that. That's totally fine. Or if you just want to straight up provide something in there, you could just say, I want to add the number 4. That's it. That's valid code. Other functions that come with here, really, if you just hit the dot, you're going to see you can remove at, you can replace things, you can turn things into a set, all sorts of stuff. But again, if you want to grab something out of an array or a list, you just do square brackets after the name of your list or array, and then say, you know what, I want something from position 0. And if we go ahead and do a print line of this, let's go ahead and do this. You should see us get back the very first value, which is a 1. Okay, so we'll wait for that. Look, it is there. And if I give it a position of 3, for example, that should give us the very last item in the list, so the number 6. We'll see if that works, and look, there it is. Now if you want to get the size of a list or an array, you just do dot size, and it's going to give you back an int. So we should see the number 4 come through here, and look, there it is. So really, that's the lowdown on lists and array. Pretty straightforward. Again, there's some differences between lists and array if you really want to get technical into it, but honestly, in most cases, it's not going to be a huge deal. So you can use those almost interchangeably, but again, if you really want to be able to grow and shrink the size of the list, you've got to have a mutable list in order to do that. Okay, so let me go ahead and give you a quick challenge here. It's going to be really straightforward. Make a list of your favorite movies. That's it. Okay, so go ahead, hit pause on the video, and do that now. Okay, so hopefully that went well. Should be pretty straightforward. I'm mostly interested to just see what your favorite movies are, so please leave it as a comment. It'd be interesting to see. So I'm going to make a variable fave movies, and in my list, I'm going to say list of, and I might put inside of here something like Sandlot, and another one of my favorite movies is Emperor's New Groove. I'm sure I didn't spell that correctly. And another favorite of mine is probably Fast and the Furious. And again, I'm going to spell that wrong. But anyways, there's some of my favorite movies. Hopefully your spelling's a little bit better than mine. One thing that I did want to mention really quickly is that if you want to specify the type of a list or an array, you can do that by saying here, you just do, for example, capital list, and then in the angle brackets, you say what's going to be inside of there. So in this case, it would be a string. Say, okay, this is going to be a list of string objects. So if you ever need to specify the type of a list, you can do that by doing this.